Good evening. This is Peter Booker, and tonight I'm going to be giving the forecast for Lynchburg, Virginia for February the 20th, 2019. Now, during the day today, we saw mostly cloudy conditions across the region. Temperatures got back into the middle 40s for many of us this afternoon. After sunset, temperatures begin to fall off again into the 30s, and that's what we're seeing tonight. Temperature currently outside in Lynchburg is 38 degrees. Our dew point is 26. This makes for a relative humidity of 62% and the winds are calm. Now over the next several hours we'll see those temperatures fall back into the lower 30s and even the upper 20s across the region as precipitation moves in from the south. Now looking at the radar overnight, we can see snow and sleet now moving into central Virginia. This will take a couple hours to moisten up the atmosphere, but once it does, we'll see the temperatures drop off maybe 5 to 6 degrees very quickly, and that snow begin to fall. Now the big question overnight is that do we get several hours of snow or only maybe an hour or two? And that will really determine how much snowfall we receive from the system. The National Weather Service right now is calling for about 1 to 3 inches of snow overnight before that changeover to sleet and freezing rain occurs. Now how cold will we be tomorrow morning? Well, temperatures will likely start off in the upper 20s to lower 30s because of a wedge that will be setting up over, let's say, the Carolinas and the state of Virginia. And this wedge will stay in place all day. Now, just off to our west into Kentucky, we can see temperatures in the 50s. So a 20-degree swing on the other side of the mountains. And still further to our west, we can see maybe some teens and some lower 20s over the Dakotas. And still further to our south and east over Florida, we can see temperatures in the mid-80s Wednesday afternoon. To take a look at the forecast map for tonight, we can see the snow that precedes the ice, but likely a couple of hours at least, anywhere from an inch or two for many of us before that changeover occurs. And in fact, as we head into mid-morning on Wednesday, we can see the ice overspreading much of the area and actually spreading further to the west and to the east. So a wide area of ice probably between 7 and 9 a.m. Wednesday morning. Now that area of ice shrinks per se in the afternoon. This is around 1 p.m. Lynchburg, Roanoke, Blacksburg, Charlottesville, all these regions receiving ice still at this time. So if you're driving to work, let's say early tomorrow morning, even in the afternoon, you could be facing some real travel difficulties. Now, as far as snowfall amounts from the National Weather Service, right now they're calling for around 2 inches of snow in Blacksburg, Roanoke, and Lynchburg. Locations to the north are calling for about 3 inches over Lewisburg and Covington, and even 4 inches around Lexington. Now, looking at the next 5 days, again, we will receive snow and sleet tonight, maybe some freezing rain tomorrow, but the rest of the week we have a chance of rain. And this could lead to some flooding in much of the southeast, over the Tennessee Valley in particular, over the area in gold that we can see, about 5 inches of rain in parts of Tennessee and Kentucky. Further to the east, we are really receiving anywhere from 1.5 to as much as 2 inches of rain over central Virginia. And even though we've received a tremendous amount of rain over the last couple of weeks and even the past year, we should not be receiving the flooding rains that, let's say, our neighbors to the west will receive over the next week. Now looking at the 3-day forecast for central Virginia, again on Wednesday we have wintry precipitation throughout the day, beginning as snow and sleet transitioning to freezing rain, a high of 32 and a low of 32. Temperatures will likely rise Wednesday night into Thursday morning, a high of 57 by Thursday afternoon and a low of 39. Again, conditions favorable for rain on Thursday, about 80% chance at this time. Now as we into Friday, a high of 45 and a low of 37, about a 30% chance of rain on Friday. Much less than what we're seeing over the first couple of days. That chance of rain, however, continues into the weekend. Temperatures are also moderating into the 50s as well. So please stay tuned for that and have a great week.